It's obviously disturbing that the President of the United States would use terms like garbage to talk about an entire community that are Americans. Somali Americans are Americans. They make Minneapolis a better place, and we're proud to have these Americans in our...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, gather around because I've got a bone to pick with the pearl-clutching leftists who lost their gosh darn minds when Donald Trump called Somalia a garbage country. Oh, the horror of the words, the outrage. How dare he? All cultures are equal. All cultures are valid, they screech. How dare you impugn them? Oh, well, buckle up, buttercups, because I'm here to defend the truth and drop some bombs that will make the woke cultural relatives hide under their desks as they get nuked. And as we nuke, please thumb up the video for the algorithm and leave me a comment. Remember, the thumb up costs you $0, and the comment, I want to know what you think. So, first off, let's talk real about Somalia. This is not some exotic paradise from a Disney movie. No, it's a place where female genital mutilation, otherwise known as FGM as the acronym, is basically a national pastime. Yes, indeed. They snip off the little girls' clitorises like it's a bad haircut for the purpose of ensuring that they can't enjoy the horizontal tango later in life, thus making them more likely to never cheat, aside from the fact that you'll get killed if you do. And I know this firsthand because at one point in time, I had a very pretty Somali girlfriend with a surprisingly good sense of humor. And I did a little research assignment that gave me a PhD in cross-cultural catastrophe. Now, back to the discussion of FGM. Question, and leave it below. What percentage would you guess of girls in Somalia that get it? Do you think it's like less than half, 50-50, 60-40? Ha ha ha. They wish. Try 98%. Is that really what you would describe as a wonderful culture? Or is it cruelty wrapped in a traditionally weaved blanket full of rusty surgical instruments? If a country's main cultural export is intentionally inflicting lifelong trauma on its women, maybe, just maybe, it might not be the cultural equivalent to Norway. And don't get me started on child marriage. Kids still learning to tie the knot in their shoes are married off to men 40 years their senior. Honor killings, more on that later, where family feuds end in funerals, or if you're a girl, defiance of the men, gets ya. Plus, recruiting child soldiers like it's Little League except with AK-47s. The official uniforms is a suicide vest. But hey, let's import that because cultural diversity is our strength. And in America, we have something called freedom of speech that I'm a great defender of. Do you believe that such a thing exists in Somalia? Of course it does, so long as you have the most guns of anybody in the nation.
I'm the captain now.
Otherwise, saying something disagreeable makes you deader than disco. And the justice system. It's either pay blood money or pray for mercy and to Allah, because the courts function about as well as a chocolate teapot outside of the big cities. Now, listen, about that ex of mine. She was pretty, she was smart, she had a surprisingly good sense of humor. But when her brother sniffed out that she was dating a non-white, non-Muslim, me, apparently they were the neighborhood ethics committee, they decided that my existence was a moral emergency. Boom. Death threats faster than you can say infidel. Honor killings, as I mentioned, anyone? Now that's where cultural relativism should die. They demand tolerance from us, but their culture is built on a massive intolerance that says, date outside the faith and we will kill you. We will kill you. A common refrain in Somalia. And here's the kicker. Question, isn't that the real bigotry? Judging someone based on skin color and religion. But wait, who is judging whom? Oh, it's the guys with the threats who are the victim of my judgment. But oh no, because if I point that out, I'm the Islamophobe, scream the left. Islamophobic. Spare me. Not to mention the percentage of religious attacks worldwide committed in the name of Islam is 95%. If it's a terror attack based on religion, we can all guess which one committed it. And that's the playbook, isn't it? You question the Islamic faith, they throw Islamophobe at you like a grenade. But when people in the name of that faith mow down the staff of Charlie Hebdo, kill a Dutch filmmaker, or force Salman Rushdie into hiding for decades, by the way, they attacked him in a public speech more than 20 years later. I mean, talk about being able to maintain a grudge. I mean, we're all supposed to stand back and say, well, that's just their tradition of critiquing art. But sure, all you leftists keep calling me phobic while you play duck and cover under your desk from the truth nukes I'm dropping. And yet, these same left-wing virtue signalers whine when Trump calls it like it is. Somalia is a garbage country. More for you on that. They are ranked dead last in corruptions for 2 decades straight. We're talking 1920 Yankees level of dominance of the corruption charts. They are far exceeding expectations, except in a league that used to have 20 teams. There are 180 nations competing for that prized spot atop the charts. We're talking bribe-fueled bedlam, where graft compromises 88% of their GDP. But hey, let's import boatloads of folks from there to high-trust havens like good old Minnesota, because what could go wrong? Oh, just a little light corruption. A billion taxpayer dollars vanishing into thin air. Some of it funneled back to Al-Shabaab, their countrywide terrorist organization, like it's a GoFundMe for jihad. Who could have predicted that? I don't know, anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together in a history book, that's who. It's like inviting vampires to a blood bank and acting shocked when the donors go pale. Who could have possibly predicted that importing the world champions of corruption would lead to more corruption? Only the bigots, apparently, like me. The left isn't mad that Trump was wrong. They're mad that he called out the wolves they imported to eat the sheep that pay the taxes. Their goal isn't tolerance. It's simply to dilute the societal trust that makes the West work in exchange for the sake of a voting bloc that they can rely on to maintain power and divide up the true honeypot of taxpayer money. Well, some of that has got to go back over to Somalia and Al-Shabaab. Look, not all cultures, I hate to tell you, are created equal. Deal with it. Remember, back in the day, India, they had this charming little ritual called Sati, where if the husband kicks the bucket, wifey gets torched alive on his funeral pyre. Cultural relativism, my ass. If all cultures were equal, they'd all produce the same shiny results. But nope, Western values, freedom, innovation, not burning widows, have lapped the competition. Why do you think Somalis are flooding here and not the inverse? No one's packing their bags for Mogadishu and a vacation there, amigos. The closest thing that they've got to tourism is when a UN convoy comes in to maintain the peace. Honey, let's honeymoon in the Mogadishu war zone, said no one ever. So when the next politician calls Somalia a garbage country, they aren't using inflammatory language. They are providing an accurate empirical summary of its societal output, backed by history, data, and my own traumatized dating record. Leave your thoughts below. And if you're going to go to Mogadishu, please, by all means, send me a postcard.